After having had an absolute blast nuzlocking Pokemon Yellow Legacy by Smith Plays, we've noticed that the man actually made a game before that, Pokemon Crystal Legacy, which is the same concept and intent but for Generation 2. So there is only one thing we could have done. It's Nuzlocke time. As always, this Nuzlocke will use the hardcore Nuzlocke rules. But while the Yellow Legacy Nuzlocke had us restrict ourselves to watch Smith's video on the game once, then going off memory, this time we're going for the true blind Nuzlocke playthrough. No video, no docs, nothing. And we will only do one attempt. If we win, we win. If we lose, we lost. So let's get right into it. We start our adventure by picking Cyndaquil, solely following the common wisdom of, if you ain't knowing what's going on, pick the fire type. We also go for a nighttime angle because that is usually better in Vanilla Crystal, so maybe it's better here as well. After doing the boring intro, we get ourselves a few encounters. Hoot from Route 29, Poliwag from Route 30, Geodude from Dark Cave, Rattata from Route 46, Ghastly from Sprout Tower, and we killed a Bellsprout encounter in Route 31. Whoops. With this team of 6, totally not forgetting that we could have caught something else to the west of Violet City as well, we go on to face the first gym leader of the run, Falkner. Note that while we did look up the level caps beforehand, the game's hard mode, which we played on, actually just enforces level caps for you, as well as set mode and no items in battle, which is always neat to have. We lead Geodude into Falkner's Pidgey, which was just a mistake, as we know that he could have Mud Slapped, so we just go right into Rattata to scout him. We then miss a quick attack with the Rat, then miss the next one as well. We go Cyndaquil and fight the guy until we get in crit range, at which point we go Hoot and beat the Pidgey. Second Pokemon is not a Pidgeotto, but a Noctowl. We make a risky move by clicking Growl on what we find out is a peck from Noctowl, then go Geodude on the next one. Now, we can PP stall Mud Slaps with Hoot, but we go Poliwag first to make sure Noctowl doesn't have some sort of Psychic type move for us, which it does not. Thus, we can switch back and forth between Geodude and Hoot somewhat safely. We try to get something even safer by putting the owl to sleep with Poliwag, then go Geodude and tackle for Chip. However, it turned out that Falkner had a berry on his big boss owl, which we forgot to give to our Geodude that is running low on health. On a last-ditch effort, we send in Ghastly and click Smog, which manages to poison Noctowl, winning us the fight. This definitely was very sloppy from us, but we still pull through. With a gym badge in our hands, we quickly started gathering reinforcements. Togepi hatched in Violet City, Mareep in Route 32, confirming that this game did fix Vanilla Crystal's biggest flaw by putting Amphi back into the game. Sandshrew in Union Cave, Paris in Elix Forest, and a Zubat in Slowpoke Well. Speaking of the well, Team Rocket grunts there were somewhat harder than their vanilla counterparts, but still manageable. However, that is only an appetizer for what is supposed to be the main event, Bugsy. We peck the lead Pineco with Hoot, then try putting it to sleep several times, but fail. The reason we did this is not to encourage a potential self-destruct, but that's maybe just us being too cautious. What we end up doing is going Quilava and embering the Pine down. Ladian is next, which Quilava easily 1v1s, letting the mighty Scyther in. We go Geodude and click a Rock Throw. Easy peasy. Falkner might have been sloppy, but this time, we're back in business. With 2 badges in our belt, we now can go back to Route 36 to get Houndour, then get a Jigglypuff in Route 34, as well as a Weedle in National Park and a Snubbull in Route 35. With this improved roster, go on to face what we can only assume is an improved version of Whitney's team and her dreadful Miltank. We lead with a Beedrill into Whitney's Clefairy, which 1v1s the Clef but get charmed in the process. Miltank comes in. We swap into Snubbull but get stomped in the process. Miltank then uses Attract, but we manage to connect with our own charm, nerfing the Hell Cow massively for the next part of the strategy. We go Flaffy on a rollout, then Thunder Wave on the second rollout. Ooh, a Miracle Berry. Good stuff, good stuff. We click T-Wave again on the third rollout, and very good. Now, the battle is virtually over as we go into Rat and go for a nasty paraflinch stretch with headbutts. We manage to get a few flinches and take the cow down. Last is Teddiursa, which was added to her team, which also goes down to headbutts, giving us a nice third badge, albeit with a few risks on the milk tank, but that's part of the course when you get surprised by a Miracle Berry. We proceed to go forward to Route 37, catch an Ariados, then a Marill and Mount Mortar, a Mad Cargo's pre-evolution and Burn Tower to avoid a Slugmanuts choke, and a Magnemite in Route 38. It's mooring time. We lead Noctowl, which was given an actual flying type move and wing attack in this game, and hit the lead Haunter with one of those before it clicks the suicide button, also known as Curse. Next is Stantler. We go Graveler on that on a Miss Hypnosis. Stantler then proceeds to leer us, but he hit a Magnitude 10, which sends the Stantler 10 feet under. Get it? 10 feet under? Because it was a Magnitude 10? Do you get the joke? Subscribe now, you piece of... Next up is Misdreavus. We have no idea what this thing is up to, so we go Granbull and misclick a Charm instead of the move Bite, which we wanted to actually use. Misdreavus takes that turn to use Perish Song. We proceed to click. We're under the effect of Perish Song, so we just go Flaffy and T-Wave the Misdreavus, which in the meantime gets its own Perish counter reduced to 1. This forces the AI to switch into the last Pokemon, Morty's Ace Gengar, which we came prepped for by means of Dig Raticate. We click Dig and get a massive chunk of damage as Gengar puts us to sleep with Hypnosis, but we came prepared for that as well. Yes, this was the patented Mint Berry Dig Raticate, the rat to end all Gengars. Now all we have to deal with is a paralyzed Misdreavus, which Noctowl deals with decently. 4 badges in, and we're still going. A cool thing about this game is that a lot of the encounters are predictable if you have knowledge of the vanilla game. We got Meowth in Route 39, Chinchou and Olivine via fishing, Krabby in Route 40, and Tentacool in the water next to Cianwood. But we also got Remoraid to the east of Ecruteak and Horsey in Route 41, which are pretty unconventional. Regardless, that's a lot of Pokemon to face the next gym leader with, Chuck. For Chuck, we lead with Kingler, which has a good physical defense, making it a decent lead into most fighting types. Kingler 1v1s a Hitmontop, baiting Primate in. We switch to Crobat and Wing Attack for a clean one-shot. And next comes Sudowoodo, our favorite fighting type Pokemon. Jokes aside though, this is a nice addition to a fighting gym team, albeit one we were not the most prepared for. We go Ampharos on a Rock Slide, which makes us dead to the next one if it crits. We try Gyarados, which was very stupid in retrospect, seeing things could go south real quick. We go Kingler, thankfully it does not get crit and survives one hit, which allows it to chip the fake tree before dying. From there, Gyarados can just serve for the kill. Well done Kingler, your sacrifice will not be forgotten. Poliwrath is last, but we have the sauce in the form of Parasect that puts it to sleep and lets Crobat finish off with flying moves. Kingler's death, though painful, is not run-ending by any means, though we'd like to emphasize that we could have put less rock-weak Pokemon and maybe even bring Sandslash, which was a great asset in this gym. While the Mahogany Rocket Split did not cause us too much trouble, it's worth noting that it was massively improved in terms of providing actual challenges, especially the admin teams, which had diverse and interesting squads to play against, but we'll have more on them later. For now, we'll focus on the next gym leader, Price. We lead Lantern, which luckily comes right into a lead Cloyster and thunderbolts it down. Next is Sneasel, which lowers our defense, but gets paralyzed and 2-shot by more Thunderbolts from one of the most goated Pokemon in Nuzlocking history. Next is Jinx, which has annoying sleep moves. We stay in and click Surf, dodging a lovely kiss in the process. We hit a second one, but get hit by a Psychic. We then go Rat on a lovely kiss into Typhlosion on a Psychic to kill Jinx, but it switches out for Dugong, avoiding our Flame Wheel. We go Lantern on the predicted Surf and KO the Dugong with T-Bolt. Jinx comes again, showing how good the switch Price did actually was, as Jinx is a fast Pokemon that's able to be very annoying even at low HP when it's well positioned. To take no risk, we went Octillery and sacked it. There were many scenarios where we could have been put to sleep or stuff like that, and we wanted none of it. Typhlo comes back and this time manages to beat the Jinx for good. Ace Piloswine is last. We go Gyarados on a predicted EQ and Surf on a Miss Blizzard. Pylo manages to get out of KO range thanks to a tactical Goldberry equipped by Price. We keep surfing through and manage to pull through without more casualties. We also got a few more Pokemon such as Natsu in Alph Ruins and Shelter west of Newbark Town. In blind runs like these, it's important to sack the correct Pokemon. Kingler and Octillery were brought with the specific intent to be sackable should something go wrong, as they're just worse water types than other Pokemon we have. Also, the only reason we lost a Pokemon in the first place was the great switch that priced it to Dugong to reposition Jinx, making us wonder, how good is this game's AI? Next up, we'll go right at the next gym leader, Jasmine, the Steel-type master. We lead Ampharos with Fire and Thunder punches and luckily get a Skarm lead, one-shotting it easily. Steelix is next. We go Poliwrath and one-shot with Surf. Next is Scizor, which goes on a Typhlo. Jasmine then brings Corsola. Now, I get that we praise Sudowoodo on Chuck, but rock Pokemon on fighting gyms is kind of an existing theme with Bruno and Vanilla, but this is just weird. Anyhow, Lantern deals with the inconvenience and the last Pokemon on her team, Magneton, falls to Sandslash. 7 badges down, 1 to go. And now it's time for everyone's favorite Johto split, the Radio Tower Rockets News Fest, yay! Except, wait, this is not anything like the Radio Tower Rockets News Fest we all know and none of us loves. Actually, this game achieved the physically impossible task of making this split include activities such as decision-making, risk-taking, and even fun-having. The admins are very hard, and even the grunts have teams that can catch you off guard if you try to rush through, such as Weezing critting your Sandslash with Boom, or Nidoking pressuring you into sacking your Persian. And we also lost Xatu to an admin's Fortress Boom, but we managed to not risk any of what we thought were the most valuable guys and kept going. The rival battle also had very good Pokemon like Victory Bell and Houndoom, but somehow we managed to have everyone survive, though Raticate was definitely lucky to say the least. After all these losses, we realized the late game was not going to go easy on us, and thus we prepared Claire the best we could. We got Lickitung and Delibird on the way to Blackthorn, as well as Gligar on Route 45, which are by no means the best things ever, but we at least also found a seal on Whirl Islands. Against Claire, we lead Poliwrath, which we taught Ice Punch to as she brings in her Dragonair. We do not kill the dragon in one hit, but we freeze it, allowing a KO at full HP. Gyarados comes next. Gyarados uses Fly, which, yes, it learns in this game, probably serving as a discount bounce to give it a flying type move. We intercept the Fly with Lantern and serve it a Thunderbolt, which will obviously wait, what? Focus Band? Smith is definitely cooking on this one. Gyarados clicks Bite and we KO with the next T-Bolt. Next is another Dragonair. We go Dugong, but get paralyzed. We then get Thunderbolt into full paralysis, we risk the crit and try again, and this time connect and get the one-shot. Claire brings a Lapras, which is quite atypical as well. We tank a Body Slam with Magneton and paralyze it as it serves. We then go Gyarados and 1v1 through sheer power. Our team is quite weakened as Claire now serves as her specialty, a Raging Kingdra. We, however, left a Pokemon healthy for this exact purpose, Parasect. Parasect comes in and dodges a Hyper Beam flawlessly, then puts the ace to sleep with Spore. We go Lantern and hit a Thunderbolt, but not only we get crit by a Surf, we also realize this Kingdra has leftovers, which is very dicey. Not wanting to mess around and find out, we decide to sack Dugong to what luckily turns out to be a Hyper Beam by the Kingdra and bring the bug again. We Spore, we Growth twice to double our special attack, and we go for the 1v1, which Parasect brilliantly gets. That Claire fight was very fun to do blind for sure. This last victory allows us access to a Rapidash in Kanto, a Dratini in the Cave of Dragons, but most importantly, to the item Dragon Scale, which can be used to evolve Seadra into Kingdra. But some astute viewers might ask, how in the heck do we know Seadra's evo method in this game without external documentation? Well, because in this game, the Pokédex actually serves a function, which sounds like a crazy concept until you realize that this game's Pokédex not only gives you the evolution methods, but also the full level up learn set of any registered Pokemon. This is such a great feature, and Game Freak is dumb for not having done it. Back to the Nuzlocke. So this is normally the point in the game where you just need a little bit of care to get to the Elite Four, and there is where the actual problems arise. However, this game made this split very challenging, with ace trainers having a lot of diverse and well-equipped teams to own your hopes and dreams. We did lose 2 Pokemon in this split, and guess which ones run lucky? Surely we once again made sure to sack 2 weaker Pokemon and keep our better guys safe, right? Right? Well, turns out one Gengar on the way had Thunder Punch to kill our Gyarados, which you might call BS, but it is still on us because Gengar gets TM Thunder Punch, so it's fair enough. And Cyndaquil was also lost to, wait for it, Extreme Speed Pidgeot, which this time is kinda BS, but is still on us because the Extreme Speed Pidgeot trainer was optional, so we could just have played better in terms of map movement. Long story short, we conserved the best 2 water types in the game for their later potential only to lose them to dumb stuff. Nice! Before we actually get to the Elite Four, we have to face Smith, our rival, one last time. And if this game is set up in any remotely logical way, this fight ain't gonna be easy. We lead Raticate into a very impressively Ursaring. We use Strength as they retaliated with Rock Smash. Predicting the second one, we went Type Flow and finished him off with Flamethrower, keeping Rat as a potential sack for later in the fight. Smith sends his own starters for Alligator, which we were prepped for with Lantern. However, Smith proceeded to bamboozle us with a double switch that got the entire Pokemon competitive scene taking notes and went to Victory Bell on our switch. Seriously though, this is such an insanely good switch, though thankfully Smith could not keep the Genius plays coming as we went back into the Fire Starter and just owned the plant. Back into Feraligatr and back into Lantern, no shenanigans this time, and Lantern kills the Gator easily. Here, the rival proceeds to reveal Tyranitar, and of course our Poliwrath has no fighting moves, Seeing the situation, and though we know for a fact this thing will Earthquake, we opt to surf and count on Lantern to tank it like a champ, and above all, not to get crit. We click surf for Massive Chip, Earthquake comes in, and Lantern holds! We surf again for the kill, and Smith brings in Houndoom, which we have Poliwrath for, and just defeats. Last is Golbat. We use Ampharos, and that's a wrap. Now is the moment we were waiting for. The blind Elite Four run, which we are going to pull no punches for. This game might have been harsh on us, but we have kept a few secret weapons, 2 of them to be exact. We go to Cherry Grove and fish for Staryu, which we theorized would be there after we saw how many encounters were similar to Vanilla Crystal. But more importantly, we go to Goldenrod's Game Corner and buy an Abra for 100 coins. If Kadabra is goated in Gen 2 Nuzlocks, this game gives us Alakazam, which is a massive force. So here is our team: Houndoom, Starmie, Alakazam, Kingdra, Poliwrath, and Lantern. Let's go. For Will, we lead our main Pokemon for him, Houndoom. H leads with a Giraffe that we one-shot, next is a Loking. We trust our Houndoom and Crunch as the King Amnesias. We Crunch again for the kill. Bro is next. We think we definitely one-shot a Slowking is much spatially bulkier than Bro, but we were wrong in that somehow. We get Rock Smashed, we click Feint Attack for the kill, but Bro moves before us and Rock Smashes a second time. If you're puzzled at how the heck that's even possible, it's because that Slowbro holds a Quick Claw which activated. In Gen 2, Quick Claw activation just happens, and there's nothing to explicitly tell you it did, which can be very confusing. Fourth in is Xatu. We go Zam to Thunder Punch, but we get Drill Pecked. Not willing to risk a crit, we go Lantern in 1v1. Last is Espeon, which is very dangerous given that Houndoom is low on health. We switch around to Chip It, risking both Starmie and Kingdra to potential crits before going Houndoom and win. 1 down, 4 trainers to go. Next up is Koga, a Poison-type trainer. We send in Zam, Psychic, 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 and Psychic. Next. Third is Bruno. We lead Zam again. Hitmontop gets one-shot. Steelix is next. If we only knew maybe, we would have let Starmie instead. We go Kingdra and Surf, then Heracross comes in. We go Poliwrath on an expected Mega Horn and get Cross Chop as we Surf. We pivot around with Lantern and Starmie and Psychic the thing down. Lee comes next. We Psychic, but no one-shot. Body Slam and Starmie holds. Lee falls, and last is the Machamp. We go Zam on a Cross Chop and oopsies, we think Kingdra will 1v1. We Surf. What? Not a 2-shot? Oh no. We go Lantern to sack, but Champ misses. We try to somehow kill Champ, but Lantern falls, and only Starmie gets the kill. 2 deaths to Bruno, thanks to that cross-chop crit on Zam. If we only knew, maybe we just sacked 1 Mon and had 1 death, whatever. Karen is 4th in line. She leads Umbreon on our Houndoom and double teams. We spam Flamethrower as much as possible, and thankfully she just switches out to her own Houndoom, which is very good for us. We go Poliwrath, 1v1, have Gengar in and just go back to Houndoom. We one-shot with Crunch, Murkrow is next. We Flamethrower and get a Clutch Burn for an easy kill, and we just one-shot the plan for last. Karen apparently was way easier than Bruno, which is a shocker. Last is Lance. We only have 4 Pokemon, but 3 of them have good matchup into the champion for having ice moves and sometimes electric moves. We lead Starmie, expecting a Gyarados lead, which we get. We Thunderbolt and fail to one-shot even though we had equipped a magnet to the Starmie. This Gyarados must be extremely cracked. However, he just retaliates with a feeble Rock Smash, giving us an easy first kill. Dragonite is next. Ice Beam one-shots, that makes it a 4v4. Come on, we can do this. Next up is Zapdos. What in the heck is this? Now it's clear we cannot one-shot this, and Zapdos is definitely claiming a soul here, so we save Starmie for sacking Poliwrath. The strategy being to use Houndoom to 1v1 Zap and have Starmie for what should be more classic Lance Pokemon like Charizard and Aerodactyl. We go Houndoom, first Flamethrower does huge damage and a burn. We get T-Waved, we click again, and oh, come on. We go Starmie and Ice Beam Zapdos down. A second Dragonite comes in, we Ice Beam and, okay, this is just weird. Thunder comes in, we somehow survive and kill, but Arrow outspeeds and kills us. Now Kingdra needs to kill 2 Pokemon. We 1v1 Arrow, but we take huge damage in the process. Charizard is last. We surf. Come on, crit, 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 crit. On the last Pokemon too. I don't know if you guys realize how close that E4 was. If we sacked a Pokemon on Bruno for a clean Zam switch, we would have won. If Cross Chop did not crit, we would have won. If Starmie was even slightly stronger, got a slightly better Ice Beam roll on Dragonite 2, or was holding Never Melt Ice instead of Magnet, we would have won. But alas, despite having lost, this game was still heaps of fun. We believe we showcased it pretty well as shown some decent blind playthrough management, at least most of the time. And losing Nuzlocks is part of the Nuzlocke fun. You should definitely try this game for yourself. It's very worth it, and maybe at some point, we'll come back to actually win this Nuzlocke.